Margie, and I am the Director of Child Welfare Partnerships at KC Family Programs, and was one of the sponsor group members for the Position Public Child Welfare Guidance, and co-chaired the partnership chapter, and strategic partnership chapter. At KC, we have our 2020 goals of safely reducing the number of kids in foster care by 50% by the year 2020. We at KC know that there is no way that we can do that alone, or do it alone just with child welfare leaders around the country. We have to look at other agencies and other groups to help support that, be it be domestic violence support systems, be it be drug and alcohol support systems, be it be mental health. Those are all critical partners within the efforts of being able to safely reduce our numbers of kids in foster care. As well as looking at the critical nature, and the most important is to be able to partner with the families and the children that we serve throughout the whole process and make sure that they're at the table talking to us and working with us. What you'll find in the chapter is opportunities to look at the criteria for finding partnerships, what are the key strategies to making a strategic partnership, as well as what are the roles and responsibilities. A lot of organizations talk about that they do collaborations and partnerships, and what is the true work of a collaboration is a level of trust and understanding between the groups, a shared responsibility. We know that the children and families that we serve in child welfare are served by many agencies around, in many systems within their communities and other agencies. And we in child welfare, it's really critical for us to be able to get out there and link with these groups and look at shared outcomes. What is the best at the forefront for these families and children, and having partnerships with the family and children as well. I think what you'll find in the chapter, and a key part of it, is looking at how are we able to share data outcomes and look through sharing the same data outcomes that we're trying to achieve with the other organizations that we're working with. Also, we talk a bit about the levels of partnerships. There are all kinds of levels of partnerships, some that are around that we provide funding to organizations, some might just be that we have broad communications with different organizations, churches, to be able to support the families that we serve. So it gives you a leveling of what are different levels of partnerships, and how do you go about establishing those. As well as I said earlier, the roles of people in those partnerships. Having leadership support at the front end from your executive director or your director of child welfare to be able to commit to the partnership, to the work of the group, and to the outcomes that we're all trying to achieve. The other thing that it talks about is how to be able to engage these partnerships. What is the way that you bring them to the table? Do you bring them to the table with a set agenda? No, you bring them to the table to sit down and look at what needs to change and how each group in a collaboration can begin to take a piece of the process and a piece of the work for the families. I think a lot of times if we don't have clear definitions of that at the beginning, it's very easy to start blaming other groups of what they did or what they didn't do. But when you start a partnership, if you start with clear expectations, you start with what you're looking for and who in that group can help support the outcomes and support the families to get to the end goal of successful, permanent places for children and families around the country.